Arsenal 2, Everton nil. We waited a long time for those goals, but we got them. Victor Gyökeres and Max DOWMAN. Oh, come on, you Gunners. Wow, Waka, welcome back to another match reaction. I hope your nerves have calmed down because mine were to the roofs, man. I, I was so stressed throughout this game. They hit the post, they had some big opportunities. Calafiori, Raya both had some big saves, and eventually our subs got it done, man. The cross in from Diamond was amazing. The goalie doesn't really do well with it. Pickford just flaps at it. It comes off in Capier, and Jokeres is right where we want him to be. He puts it in the back of the net, 1-0 up in the 89th minute. And then they have a corner kick in the 96th minute. And I was stressed, man, because those corners have been dangerous the whole time. This was definitely one of the worst corners they had this whole match. I think it was also one of the few ones from that side, so maybe that's the reason. But that counter attack from Max Dowman, man, it comes straight out of the Martinelli handbook. He just picks up that ball, goes past his first man, and he just sprints towards the goal. Nobody could keep up with him. Martinelli was doing the blocking job. It was almost like an NFL play, man. And Max Dowman becomes the youngest Premier League scorer of all time. 16 years, 73 days. I mean, the whole stadium erupted, not just because the win was definitely in the bag there, but we all want to see Max Dowman get the best opportunity to become the best player ever, especially at our club. And it's just such an amazing thing, man. Him scoring against Everton in the Premier League. Everton, who had Rooney at a young age, score against us, and now we can return the favor. Oh, I was so relieved, man, when that first goal went in and that second goal, it was just pandemonium here in my house, man. I was running around, I was screaming. Oh, man, I think my neighbors could have heard everything after that first and that second goal, man, because I was going crazy. Let's start at the beginning, right? We started off with kind of the most of the 11 is kind of the usual thing. Calafiori coming in for Nkapia was a bit of a surprise with Nkapia being very much on form, but Calafiori definitely was one of our most industrious players. Uh, the midfield was kind of what we've seen for the last couple of weeks. And then up front, we had Madueke on the left, as Saka on the right, and Havertz through the middle. I was really surprised with that. You could tell that Madueke on the left doesn't feel the same as Madueke on the right, because just before he came off, he was on the right. He was electrifying immediately, going past his man. The final ball wasn't great. There was a moment where he could have picked someone out, but kind of delayed it a little bit. But yeah, you could tell that from the right, he is just way more comfortable when it comes to dribbling and trying to get past his man. On the left, he wasn't doing it, which is kind of weird because if he does kind of the same stuff on the left, he could do a better cross with his stronger foot, but somehow he didn't fancy it. Saka, he had moments here and there, but didn't really go past his man on a consistent basis. Final balls weren't that great. He had some opportunities to shoot, and those shots weren't amazing. I mean, we've seen better from him a lot of times, man, with him coming inside and then just hitting it to the far post. It wasn't coming off here. We definitely had a shooting problem because when we did have a shot, sometimes it just was blocked by a lot of the defenders, sometimes even our own players. But a lot of the shots were either straight to Pickford or way off target. Because at some point we had like 17 shots with 3 on target. That just says enough. We were mostly the dominant side in this match, but some of the better opportunities did fall for Everton. You had the the save from Calafiori. That was probably the first really dangerous one where he was already on the ground. He flicks his legs up and he somehow blocks the shot. Then from there, it was McNeil who could just run through the middle of our 18-yard box. And just outside of that 18-yard box, he gets the shot off, hits the post, and it ricochets off of Ndai or whatever his name is. And it goes behind the goal. But those were some dangerous moments. We had Dewsbury Hall on the edge of the 18-yard box. Acres of space, hits a shot, not far enough into the corner so Raya can save it. The corners were dangerous, yet Raya saving it with his left foot at some point. It was just, oh man, on the edge of your seats kind of stuff, man. And when it comes to our side, it was just, about half chances here and there, some shots, but nothing too amazing. Probably the best chance we had was an offside header from Saka with an amazing save by Pickford. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been complaining about Gyökeres, his holder play, his link-up play, all those kind of stuff. We had Jesus against Mansfield in the FA Cup, thinking out the plays. Now we had Havertz coming in from the start. Didn't do much. Some of his touches were horrible as well. A lot of the kind of touches that people slag Gyökeres off for, he had the same thing, Havertz. So very ineffective. And yeah, like I said, with Madueke on the left also being ineffective, that's not a great combination. Eze had like a 7 or 8 out of 10 match for me. He was really trying to break the lines here and there, trying to get into positions to shoot. Maybe shot a couple of times too many when it came to him just hitting it off the volley. Because the second or the third time, I was like, well, maybe you could have just passed it to the left or the right and made it more dangerous that way. But he was really trying. He had some great passes. His best pass in the first half was to Havertz, who was, in my opinion, clearly fouled by the defender. A lot of the angles didn't really show it, but there was one angle they showed when it comes to all the replays, and you could clearly tell that he hits him on the left side of his left foot. And to me, that's just a foul, man. That's something where you go down for, and if you're on towards goal, that should just be a foul. I don't know what VAR was looking at there, but either they didn't have that specific angle or they just didn't want to give it, but it was just a horrible decision. And then the ref on the pitch himself, man, I was so frustrated with this guy. In the first half, Noni tried to go past Keane, I think it was. And I think Keane is also the same guy who fouled Havertz later on. But Madueke tried to go past him. The ball was like 5 or 6 yards to the right of both of them. And Keane just fully body checks Madueke, no foul. Rice does it later, foul. Mosquera, I don't even know how there was a foul on the left side, foul. Eze does the same thing as Keane did to Madueke. Foul. So I don't know what this ref was doing. You can't just blow your whistle every time Arsenal does it, but when Everton does the same thing, it's nothing. That was just BS, man. Some of their players made so many fouls, not a yellow card. He was really awful, in my opinion, man. I can understand that he didn't see the penalty. VAR should have intervened there. But when it comes to the way he blew for fouls for Everton and for Arsenal, that was just not the way a ref should be ref in the game. Other than that, we just had ourselves to blame, man, for it being that late before we scored because we were just very ineffective, man. Think just when you look at it, our play was too slow. A lot of times, players weren't really scanning for their teammates because sometimes a guy would get the ball. If he just opened his body up quickly, he would have had a forward pass, but they don't really know that and they just pass the ball back to the defenders. And that's just those tiny little margins where we could have been so much more dangerous when we were pressing Everton back. Just really annoying. Feel like the subs were very warranted. I mean, Calafiori, he's not 100% fit, I expect, because he had some niggling injuries here and there the last couple of weeks. So Nkapia coming on for him, very normal. Havertz and Madueke had a bad game. Gyökeres and Martinelli coming on for them. Very, very, very good subs. Then you had Max Dauman coming off for Zubimendi with Arsenal getting more attacking. Because that meant that Rice was the six, as it did stay around him a lot, bit deeper. And then Saka was the 10. Max Dauman went to right wing. And at that moment, we already had the pressure on them because just before those last subs, you had, or just before the Gyökeres and Martinelli subs, you already had Madueke on the right at one point, making it dangerous. We were already pressing them back, and then the subs happened, and it just became even more dangerous. We were really pressing for it. Very great for us to get the goal. We were definitely on top of it. We deserved the win. And I'm just so happy, man, with Gyökeres scoring that goal after the diamond cross. Amazing. And then just the finishing touch with Dauman scoring that goal. Oh, man, I was so happy for him. I was just happy as an Arsenal fan that we won. We just have to wait and see what City does against West Ham. Hopefully, West Ham can at least get a draw out of it. That would mean that they would go level with Tottenham, and it would mean 2 drop points for City. So that would be an amazing outcome for us. Even better would be if West Ham somehow win, but I'm not really expecting that. I think a draw is the maximum we can expect. We just have to keep on doing our things. We have to be a lot better in attack against Bayer Leverkusen midweek. Hopefully, we can just get our Champions League form going again, beat them convincingly, go on to the next round, probably against Bodo Glimt. And then on Sunday, we have the Carabao Cup final. But first, we just have to focus on Bayern, Leverkusen, and we just have to be happy today that we won, man. 2-0 win against Everton. They have a great away record. We have an amazing home record, and our home record stays amazing. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are celebrating just like I am, and I'll see you after the Bayer Leverkusen match. Peace.